Warning: the following video contains material that may be triggering and traumatizing to some audiences.
Good morning to all my fellow Gossipians out there. If you're not having a good day, I hope to make it a little bit better. Now, if you have not noticed, today is Cooking with Bri. We whipping up a little bit of breakfast in here, okay? Because I'm a little hungry. I don't know about everybody else. But today, if you haven't got the ingredients just yet, we are making French toast. Yes, with a side of fried eggs, fried hard, because that's how I like my eggs. And some turkey bacon, because that's the type of bacon that I like. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Okay? Now, I do not have one of the 50 iconic women out of the iconic book, but I do have an iconic woman to talk about. We are going to talk about my mother, the most iconic woman of them all, if you ask me, okay? Now, my mother has not only taught me how to cook, but she has showed me how to put love into my cooking as well. So when I feel like cooking, that's when I cook, and I put a little dash of love into it too. You know what I'm saying? Just to remind myself of a little something my mom do. And my mom is not one of those people who we say, oh yeah, my mom can cook, and she really can't cook. No, her Baked Mac is good. It's crisp at the top and cheesy in the middle, okay? We ain't gonna get into that. Y'all might be able to see my plate for Thanksgiving, but y'all gonna see my plate today, okay? I'm at my mom on the show. Y'all be able to meet her. She's one of a kind. I promise you that. I love you, Mom. Now, let's get into making the French toast. Now, with making the French toast, we are gonna talk a little bit. You can't forget about a little bit of controversial conversation. Cooking with Bri. We gonna talk about gender roles today, okay? Let's get into it. Watch me. Now, today we have our vanilla extract. That should give it a little enhancement for the French vanilla and the French toast, you get what I'm saying? Then we got our ground cumin. That's just giving it more cinnamony spice, as well as the nutmeg will give it a little bit of a cinnamony spice, kind of like an oatmeal cookie, that sort of thing, somewhere around those lines. And then you got ground cinnamon. That's our normal. We got our eggs and butter. Butter's gonna go on the stove once we begin to cook our French toast. We got our powdered sugar. Y'all know what's going on there. And we got a couple more ingredients to go through. We got our bread. We wanted to get some thick bread today, okay? Normally I do it with my regular bread, but for y'all, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Now don't worry, I already washed my hands. That's step one to cooking. Make sure y'all washing y'all hands. Y'all dirty out there, I already know. Wash your hands before you start touching stuff, okay? Now let's get into it. Topic of the day, gender roles. Let's talk about it. Since I'm cooking, let's talk about if women should cook in their households. Should a woman cook for her man? I mean, if you ask me, like my personal opinion, I don't really like cooking, y'all. I don't like cooking at all, to be honest. Like, it's cool and all when you hungry because it's like, all right, I'm gonna go cook, but after that, oh, excuse me, y'all. These things be hard to get off. Got it. Now, like, for me, it's like, it's not that I can't cook, that I don't, and that's the reason why I don't like cooking. In all reality, it's just because it's just too hot. It be doing too much, you know what I'm saying? It take OD long, like, it's just too much. Now you only want a nice little dash, a spoonful in there for our vanilla extract, because that's a lot. That's very strong. So you don't want too much. We're gonna put that in our bowl right now. Okay. Then I like to put my seasonings in there just a little bit first, you get what I'm saying? So we can mix it in with the eggs, make it blend in well. You know, y'all, I don't really like having to measure everything out. I kind of just dash it out myself. It's kind of a mental thing for me. Like, I know how much of everything I want in my food. So therefore, when I am seasoning my food in the beginning, if I have to mix it, like let's say fried chicken or whatever the case may be, I'll season it light in the beginning because I don't want it to be too much seasoning in the end. You know, black people is good for having high cholesterol, and I don't want that to run over here in this family, although we ain't using too much salt. But I always do a nice little shift in the beginning, a nice little, get what I'm saying, nice little lean back. And then I get into it. You get what I'm saying? So we used our ground cumin, we used our nutmeg. Now we're getting, I can smell the spices already, y'all. It's kind of like opening up my nostrils for, I'm not even gonna hold. And then we have our ground cinnamon. Okay, a little heavy on the cinnamon because we making French toast. I'm gonna re-season my bread after it, but we gonna get into that. Anyway, y'all, like I was saying, I don't necessarily like cooking. It's really because I have to. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's cool and all, but in all reality, all the guys that I've dated, they cooked for me. Like, they enjoyed cooking for me. So when I get into speaking about gender roles as far as cooking goes, it's just like, are there really gender roles as far as cooking goes? Because if a guy likes to cook, he likes to cook. A lot of the guys that I dated, they like for me to sit down and just get cooked for. And you listen, be my guest. Cause I can eat. A girl can eat. Take me out, I want some steak, okay? Take me out, I want some steak. And if you gonna feed me, I want it done well. You know what I'm saying? Hook me up with some soul food. I hope you know how to fry some chicken. Cause dang, I need you to be able to do that. But definitely gonna get into it, y'all. We gonna figure some things out as far as cooking goes, because I just can't, the whole cooking as far as like a female goes, it's not for me. Like, it's really just not for me. I would rather do this. Like, I would rather talk to y'all all day. That's my thing. That's my forte. That's where I'm at. And I understand my area. I think it's really, like, when you start to choose gender roles in your relationship, that's specifically for your relationship. Like, if you find a man who can cook and you want him to cook for you rather than you cook for him, that's fine. And if he's okay with that, that's fine as well. Because there's some people that's out there willing to do it. But my thing is, if a woman isn't gonna cook in her kitchen and she's gonna let her man cook in the kitchen, is she gonna wash the dishes when she's done? Or is that expected for him to do as well? Because my mom used to say, whoever cooks doesn't have to wash the dishes. But then when I started cooking, she told me I had to wash the dishes. So I don't know. Mom, what was you doing there? I don't know. She was trying to get me. She was trying to get me because I'm still washing dishes until this day, and I honestly can't believe it. But let's cut this stove on. Let's get that all ready to go. You don't want it to be too high. I'm gonna cook them one at a time because I don't want to overcook my French toast or for them to cook all types of different ways. Don't got time for that. So now, back to our gender roles. I mean, like, if your man is cooking in the kitchen, right? What are you doing? Are you washing the dishes? Are you taking out the trash? Me personally, if they cook, I would take out the, not take out the trash. Ooh, Lord. I would make sure to wash the dishes and clean up the kitchen afterwards, because that's just something I feel like I should do. Because why leave them with that weight load after they just cooked us a whole meal? You want them to sit down, enjoy their meal, and you wash the dishes, or even wash the dishes as they go. Sometimes I even like to play sous chef. You want me to grab something out the fridge for you? No problem. Let me grab it out the fridge. I actually need an extra egg, to be honest. So let me grab an extra egg. Alrighty. So what are you doing? Are you taking out the trash? Are you what? Like, then on top of that, like, not only are, you know, if men is cooking in the kitchen, like, even if you're outside of the kitchen, would you want your man to pick up the bill when you go out to eat all the time? Like, is that something that he has to do? Is that a gender role? Because, you know, men are expected to take care of the home. They're expected to protect the family. They're expected to be the providers. You get what I'm saying? But nowadays, men are also expected to go half and half on everything that's done in the home as well. So should he be cooking? and taking out the trash and paying the bills? Are women helping with the bills? Me personally, I feel like everything should be done 50-50. In a marriage or in a relationship in general, if we are together, let's do it together. Let's be a one. But with those gender roles, I feel like, me personally, one person needs to be doing this and the other person needs to be doing that, because in a relationship, we hold certain roles in our position as men and women. Now, let's get out our bread and get into it. This is Hawaiian sweet bread, y'all. Sweet Hawaiian bread. So this is what... this is gonna bust. Like, I've never even used this bread to make French toast, so I already know what's about to happen here. Oh, I like how they wrap this. They double wrap this. What's going on here? I gotta open it up from the side. Okay. You know, I'm down. I'm down with the get down. No problem. Let me take out my one piece of bread. We'll start with one. I'm gonna place this over here. Right over here. While I get my first together. Now let's get back into cooking. Now you wanna take a look at my eggs. You see I mixed them up well, right? You can see the color in them because of, you know, all the seasonings that I put in there. Then on top of that, we have our butter. So let's slap our butter right on the stove. Get that prepared. Don't need too much because it'll melt. Nice and pretty too. Now you just want to dip it on both sides. Pay-yow. You know what I'm saying? Pay-yow. Real quick, real fast. Nothing crazy, okay? Carry it over to your pan. Now, remember I told you I was going to hit it with a little extra seasoning. It's French toast, so I want to hit it with a little extra ground cinnamon. Remember that swift. Remember that swift. That nice little gesture movement right across this French toast, okay? Bayow! About to have the best French toast in the house! Party over here! Party over here! All right. Now, once again, for our gender roles, like, I don't know. For me, like how we talked about and why do they? I just feel like if you offered to take me out, that's what you need to be doing, paying for the meal. But then again, I'm going to obviously bring my own money, but like, a man paying for your meal, it just feels like that provide feeling, like he can provide. He can whip out his own wallet and do for you. You get what I'm saying? Like, not every time do I need to whip out my wallet. Or even like leading into the situation, are you going to open my door? Like, I kind of look out for guys who open the door and who, you know, walk on the opposite side of the street where the cars are. Like, it's just a sign of chivalry for me. And that makes me comfortable with the person that I'm with. Fried nice and well on the back. The front about to look even better. Let's get our plate out to put it on there. Now, like I said, I look out for things like that, but what is a man gonna look out for me to do in my role as a female? And I feel like in my role as a female, he'd possibly be looking out for me too. What I like to do is be there. Women are nurturers. So my role as a woman, I feel like in my household, I need to be playing as a nurturer. Are you okay? How are you feeling? What's been happening today? Let's get into it. This French toast is smelling good, y'all. So good. Like, I'm not even a heavy eater like that. I lied. But I don't know. Like, it's about to be so good. Woo! You still want your French toast to be a little fluffy. Okay. It's a little fluffy and I'm gonna see it's gliding a little bit. Nice and buttery. Just that quick. Not too long. Nice little breakfast, okay? So we're gonna slide a little bit more butter on here again and repeat that, all right? Now this time the butter is gonna be a little less than the first time because there's still some residue from the butter the last time. But you ever like fry chicken with the same oil that you fried your last batch of chicken with and add a little bit of oil so it's like half and half so you still have that flavor? Those who know. Those who don't, ask somebody. All right, we're gonna put that back on there for our next little slice of French toast. Y'all, I don't think y'all understand. Like, this smells like Sabrina's Cafe. If y'all ever been, Sabrina's Cafe is probably one of the best brunch places I've ever been to. Like, and they give you like these huge portions. Like, I had the cannoli French toast from there once. It was the bomb. But like I was saying before, women are nurturers in their home. Or at least that's what makes everybody feel better. Everyone has a woman in their life that feels like a mother to them. And it makes them feel so much better. Like, or every man has a woman, no matter their sexuality or whatever the case may be. Even a woman has a woman. You get what I'm saying? Who's there for them mentally, emotionally. You get what I'm saying? To be there and make sure that they're nurturing them in the right way. Every man needs that. Every man in their household with a woman needs that, I feel as though. And I feel like we should have the same thing in return. But I feel like sometimes that's something as women that we have to teach because we're more so emotional creatures. That's just the gender role that we play in our homes sometimes. I mean, at least in my home. I can't speak for everyone else's, although I wish I could, but we all have different situations and like different things. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, gender role always plays a part in our everyday conversation, in our everyday life. Like, for instance, I went grocery shopping for all this. And I go grocery shopping for my house every month. But my biggest thing is the boys. When it's time for me to come home with the groceries, I need you to come outside. If I'm paying for the groceries and I'm going grocery shopping because you don't want to come and I'm making sure you have everything you need, the least you can do is bring the groceries in the house and put them up. Like, gender roles, once again. If I'm going to cook, I would expect you to at least wash the dishes. Or even if I wash the dishes, I would at least expect you to take out the trash. Like, meet me halfway. Meet me halfway. That's the biggest thing. Just meet me halfway. A lot of women and a lot of men just want people to meet them there. And that's perfectly fine because they should. People you're in a relationship with should meet you halfway there. All right, y'all. That's enough of this gender role talk. We gonna wrap it up and make sure that you see the outcome of this here French toast and breakfast overall, okay? Thank you for tuning in to Gossip. I'm gonna see y'all next week.